It was immediately like the roof just lifted up and just came like a wall to the building.
We came outside and looked, and just trees down everywhere, wires down everywhere, no power, nothing.
Yeah, it was bad. You heard it sounded like a boom.
Tonight, cleanup continues in Northeast Ohio as communities entangled in downed trees, wires, and debris are still without power.
From the west, east, and down to the south, the damage from the storms, plus now confirmed tornado touchdowns in Bedford and Valley View, is expansive. We're always glad to have your company. Thanks for being with us.
Right now, hundreds of thousands across Northeast Ohio are still without power. That includes more than 57,000 in Geauga County. Power outages in Geauga County, Lake County was the first number I meant to give you. Power outages in Geauga County are now around 200. About an hour ago, there were 25,000. In Lorain, 4,700 are without electricity, and 12,000 in Ashtabula. In a statement, First Energy tells 3 News that its crews are working around the clock to get everyone up and running.
And we're also learning that crews from Indiana are on their way here to Northeast Ohio right now to help.
Our team is spread out, speaking with residents about what they saw and heard and how they're picking up the pieces. Our team coverage tonight continues with Chief Meteorologist Betsy Kling, who is live in Rocky River. And of course, Betsy, you were on the air as the storm moved in. What a difference a day makes, and what do you see?
It hit with a punch, didn't it? And we had some significant winds that came across the lake, and that's why we are on the lake shore. Right along the lake shore is where the highest wind speeds were clocked. And storm reports all across Northeast Ohio were basically for those high-speed straight-line winds. We have numerous reports of damage that could be associated with tornadoes. At least on the radar, we had debris that was confirmed, and we are still waiting on the National Weather Service's assessments as to how strong those potential tornadoes were. But as we zoom into the lakeshore, you can see some of these incredible wind speeds that were clocked. Vermilion, 60 miles an hour. Bay Village, 79 miles an hour. Same for Burke Lakefront. Brattonall, 86 mile per hour wind. Mentor on the Lake, 70 mile per hour wind, and Fairport Harbor, 74. You go just a couple miles inland and the wind speeds are still significant, but less. You can see North Ridgeville, the 51 mile per hour wind gust. We had a 60 mile per hour gust also at Cleveland Hopkins Airport. All that wind coming across the lake was pushing the water. We had storm surge that happened live on the air while we were in our coverage yesterday afternoon. We noted first that the edge of the water was coming up. It then took over where the lifeguard chairs were at Edgewater Beach, just west of downtown Cleveland, and then it just kept coming. Fairport Harbor, the same thing happened. When we first checked in at Fairport Harbor, there were actually people in the water. Then that storm hit, and what a huge difference it made as those 74 mile per hour winds came on shore. Back here at Bradstreet's Landing, just on the west end of Rocky River, the lake is obviously still very angry, but it's the tree damage that has most people concerned. We've had numerous people coming here. This is just one of hundreds of trees that are down in Rocky River as the damage cleanup continues here. Of course, this is one place out of many here in Northeast Ohio. Our Anthony Copeland is live this evening as well with the latest on what is happening over in Bedford. Anthony.
That's right. Today, the National Weather Service and a crew of storm surveyors, they came out here to Valley View to confirm that, yes, it was a tornado. Now, the intensity of the tornado is yet to be determined. And in fact, that may take a little bit. I came out here earlier this afternoon. Going and all the wood chippers going as well. Now, it was a lot of tree damage, but it was very scattered, which could hinder the timeline of when things will become more official with the rating of a tornado. But actually, the National Weather Service has about 28 damage indicators they look at and analyze to give further view of what indeed happened and intensity of the wind. For example, if a door or window is shattered and blown off, that damage indicator coincides with a wind gust of at least 90 miles per hour for at least 3 seconds. Now they're getting into more of detail and a little bit of engineering aspect of surveying the damage to give us a little bit more proper understanding of just how intense the wind was. But in fact, if that does concur with the damage indicators, that's letting us know that we're at least looking at a EF1 tornado. But again, we'll keep you updated if once things become published with this tornado in Valley View, and of course we'll make things more established when it comes online and on air with this Tuesday storm.
Okay, Anthony Copeland in Valley View, thank you so much. That tornado, as we heard, also reached east into the city of Bedford. Some residents say it was unlike anything they had seen or heard before.
And Danielle Wiggins is giving us a glimpse of what she's seeing there. Danielle, walk us through it here.
Christy and Russ, people who live here on Union Street in Bedford, this is just east of downtown Bedford, they say this actually was a tornado according to them, what they saw. Just take a look behind me where you see multiple damage to 3 homes in a row here. Down trees, down power lines. The power lines are cut off. We've been here for a few hours. Crews are working to remove some of the debris off of the home here. I spoke to people that live on Union Street, and they tell me what it was like to experience what they're calling that tornado and what's next.
It's kind of like the tornado just bounced in and bounced around. That's what I felt like happened right here in this area, because it happened so quick. We really don't know the damage because all of the trees and everything, they really haven't gotten anything up yet for us to really see the full damage of everything that's done over here.
What are your plans?
That's a good question. Well, you can see that the roof is damaged. I could get some of it from the inside. I'm going to try to patch it up from the inside as much as I can.
And that homeowner, his name is Stan, he did not want to be on camera, but his home was damaged, trees as well on his cars. And he tells me that he doesn't have home insurance. So the community is coming together to help him. So we will, of course, stay on this story. Now we move over to Avon Lake, where my colleague Bryant is looking at home damage there.
Well, Danielle, you can truly see the power of this storm. Just take a look right behind me where this home is completely destroyed. Now, thankfully, the homeowners were not at home at the time of the destruction, but you can only imagine what's going through their mind when they learn the true power of Mother Nature. It's the cleanup after the storm. Wednesday, crews in Rocky River picking up after a night of heavy rains and strong winds.
The rain, the wind, the hail, it was incredible.
Mother of 5, Evelyn Briggs, has lived in Rocky River for more than 40 years. She says Tuesday's night storm was breathtakingly devastating.
Branches were flying all over and sticking to your house, sticking to the doors. The rain was pelting your house like you could not believe.
The storm toppling trees, destroying homes, leaving behind images some say they won't soon forget. Now, we spoke with the family of the homeowner. They tell us the GoFundMe fund is set up. It can be found on our website, WKYC.com. For now, we'll toss it to our co-worker, Annabelle, who's in Parma Heights. Annabelle, what are you seeing over there?
Hey, Bryant. Yeah, we are here at the Kingsdale Apartments in Parma Heights. And if you take a look behind me, you can see this building was once a garage storage space. The roof was torn off by those high winds. Now, a lot of the people we've talked with who live here are processing the emotions of this, what it was like at first to go through that storm and then to process all of the damage you're seeing now. Tenants were given the chance to sort through debris for any belongings before the crews started cleaning up. The storm hit a garage space behind the complex, which many of them used for storage. This aerial view shows the extent of that destruction they found when that storm finally calmed down.
Nobody got hurt. That's about it. That's the good thing, because it could have been mass destruction, without a doubt.
We also talked with kids who were inside as those winds picked up. They say it was loud. Some were hiding in bathtubs and hallways out of fear that the complex might be hit. Now, the Geauga County Public Library System says that their Parma location is open. It's one of 17 locations that people can rely on for internet, air conditioning, and electricity. That's something that's really important for these people because they are still without power, guys.
Okay, Annabelle Childers in Parma Heights, thank you so much. Let's check in now with Kaitor K. He's in Geauga County, about 200 without power there. A big change from an hour ago, where there were more than 25,000. Still a lot of stuff going on. Kaitor, what can you tell us?
Well, we are at Mayfield United Methodist Church at Mayfield and Caves Road. In this church, it is an unmistakable sign of the storm that passed through Geauga County last night. You can see the big steeple atop the church there is severely bent out of place at about a 45-degree angle, looking like it could fall off, but it seems to somehow be holding in there. Now, on our way here, you could see the aftermath of last night's severe weather everywhere. People without power packing gas stations, filling up their generators with fuel, broken stoplights, road closed signs all over. And over at the Geauga County-Lake County line on State Route 306, there's a roughly quarter-mile stretch that's closed with power line after power line down and large trees covering the road. I mean, you wouldn't even dare drive down that road. And here's a couple of people that live there telling us how they're faring.
Started to cry. We just put on a new deck last summer. We finished it. Huge tree just came down, hit the side of our house, and took out all of our deck is now collapsed in over there, and trees are up everywhere. Our garage got hit.
Unfortunately, we can't leave because our driveway is surrounded by downed wires, and we've been advised not to drive over those. So, we're just kind of stuck here without power.
Early August. The man you just heard from there says he works from home, but without electricity, he wasn't able to work today. And the woman you just heard is unfortunately also dealing with a flooded basement. Now, coming up at 7, we're going to be talking with the Chester Township Fire Chief about just how hectic last night was. And at one point, they even had to delay service because the storm got that bad. Christy.
Yeah, it was really nasty out there. Kaitor, thank you so much for bringing us the latest.
And we have a full weather recap, including power outage updates at WKYC.com.